Hello, welcome back to Life with Carol. Today I'm going to prepare 3 easy snacks that you can prepare at home and can be enjoyed by both adults and children. The 3 snacks are sesame balls, or Simsim as we call them in this part of the world, Mabuyu, I've forgotten the English name but I will post it in the video, Buns or dinner buns, or what we call in Kenya scones. So come with me as I prepare these 3 easy to make, delicious, yummy snacks. As you can see here, I'm roasting the sesame seeds. I prefer buying my sesame seeds from the local market, and once I do that, I wash them to remove any dirt that might be there, sort them out. The seeds, as you can see, are very small, but if you wash them properly, you'll find that at the bottom of the container there'll be some particles like black soil. So washing them removes all that, and then I sun dry them to remove all the moisture, because you need it dry, you need the seeds dry. Now once I do that, I put the sesame seeds on a pan without oil, just dry as it is, and roast them as you would roast groundnuts. But I do not add anything. I do not add salt at this moment. I do not add sugar, just dry roasting on an open flame, as you can see. But make sure that you use medium to low heat. So this is an exercise that will need a bit of patience, but they roast quite fast, putting in mind that the seeds are quite small. The sesame seeds are quite small, but you want them to be evenly roasted, so you have to keep turning them. This is not something that you would put on the fire and forget about it. You have to keep turning them so that they are evenly roasted. After some time, you'll notice a nutty smell, a sweet nutty smell coming from the scent, coming from them, and that is a good thing. That means that you're roasting them quite well. And remember to maintain medium to low heat. So as you turn them, you'll also notice that the colors are turning golden brown. That is also a good sign that you're doing a good job, so you keep at it. At this point, the color of the sesame seeds should be golden brown, and they should smell heavenly. You can pop a few in your mouth for tasting, and you should be able to discern a nutty flavor. Okay, so this is how it should look. A golden brown color to your liking. It should not be burnt, it should not be dark brown, because that will give you a bitter taste and you'll have spoiled everything. The next step is to add a cup of sugar into a pan, a different pan from the one we've been using, or for my Swahili speakers, into a sufuria. My aim is to melt the sugar all on its own. Do not be tempted to add water, because that will change the consistency of your sugar. It will change everything and you will not achieve what we are trying to do. We are looking for melted sugar. Let the sugar melt gently. Don't be in a hurry. Don't raise the heat. At this point, medium heat is your friend. So as you can see, I'm just stirring the sugar as it melts. Gently stir it. Maintain medium to low heat. And do not panic when you see grains of sugar still remaining. There is a point where the sugar will just melt and become syrupy. Okay? that molten sugar is what you want. It will be thick and almost creamy in consistency. So this is what you're looking for. Yeah, some were sticking on the sides of the sufuria, but as long as your sufuria or your pan is hot, then even the ones on the sides will melt at some point. So just maintain the low heat, medium to low, and keep on stirring so that it does not burn and to get all the grains melted. Next, once all the sugar has melted, we'll add the roasted sesame seeds as you mix. So you'll see that's what I'll do. Just add a bit at a time and mix just a bit. Okay, I've left some because the next snack that I'm going to make, I will need a bit of the sesame. So I'll leave a bit of it, the roasted ones, on the pan. Now, I would like to caution you as you're mixing the sesame seeds with sugar that molten sugar has very high temperatures. So as you mix them and make sure the seeds are well coated in the sugar, also you have to take care of yourself. Use 2 spoons at first to mold them the way I'm doing. And then once your fingers can withstand the temperature, then you can put them in your hands and mold them. Don't try to mold them when they are cold because they'll be too hard to mold. Okay, in case they become cold, you can return to the fire. But what I do, I just maintain the entire mixture in the hot pot until I finish molding all of them. You can mold them in different shapes. I just like them in the round shape, but you can flatten them on that tray and then cut the seeds into squares while still relatively warm, because once it hardens, it gets cold, it will harden. So this is the balls that I was talking about, and you can see it is golden in color. This is the shape that I was going for, and as you can see, the color is also nice and appetizing, golden brown, mostly because of the roasting and also the sugar that was melted. So I'll just go ahead and make the rest of the mixture, and I'll just shape them in that same round, just give them the round shape. These are baobab seeds. Before we prepare the snack that I'm about to, or what we call the mabuyu. So these seeds come from the baobab tree, and I bought them from the coastal region of Kenya, where they are grown. And as you can see, these ones have not yet been separated. They're just seeds covered with a powdery substance, which has a tangy taste. So they are highly nutritious and my children love them, so that's why I'm buying them in bulk and then I prepare little by little. So this would be our second one. I start with 1 cup of sugar, and in this case we are also going to add water, a cup of water, so it is in 1:1 ratio according to the amount of sugar that you're using. you're trying to make some sort of a syrup. And you can add color. Usually add green food color or red. In this case, I'm using strawberry red food color, and that is cardamom. You can add it for flavor, and vanilla essence. So I'll put the vanilla, the cardamom, the sugar, and the water together to boil. And then we have what we call the Mabuyu powder or the Baobab powder that comes from these particular seeds. I told you that they are covered with a powdery substance, so that one will be used later. I like popping them so that we have almost even sizes. The seeds usually come clumped together because of the powdery substance that I talked about. And you can even eat them as they are if you don't want to add sugar. It still be edible. So here I would take the syrup and add to my baobab seeds. Sorry, I hurried up this process because, as you can see, my children were in the background and they could not wait for me to record. They just wanted to start eating. So here I'll be mixing the syrup, the sugar, food color, water mixture with the flavors, the cardamom and the vanilla. Once you boil the water, the sugary solution until it becomes thick, in a way that if you held it between your two fingers, between your thumb and your forefinger, you should be able to string it. As you pull away, you'll have something like a string forming. Then you'll know that it is ready. So you just pour it over the baobab seeds and mix thoroughly. You want every seed to be coated with that colorful mixture. You can add a green color, red, according to your preference, but I prefer red, strawberry red. Okay, so this is a food grade color with sugar solution. Okay, sometimes the pods to get in, so that's what I was removing. So you just make sure they are coated well, because remember this syrup can go to the bottom of the container and you'll end up having a soggy bottom while the upper part is still dry. So just make sure you mix them thoroughly. As you can see, the snacks look so delicious already. I feel like starting to eat, but hey, the eyes that are on me back here, my children are just hanging around waiting. Next, I'm going to add the powder. This is also baobab seed powder. It just comes from the baobab. You just sieve it from the seeds. Just add generous amounts, but not too much. Then mix them up. This is to give them that fluffy yumminess. Once you add the powder, you have to continue turning and mixing. It might involve a bit of energy, but the end result will be so yummy, so sweet. So just make sure that all the powder is incorporated into the mixture. Now, this is what I call yummy goodness. Wow, just take a look at this. These Mabuyu and Simsim snacks are what we grew up eating in East Africa. I don't know about the other African countries, but it's just wow. You can prepare this and keep. As you can see, I like preparing in bulk and then I'll be giving them little by little. Remember, these are just snacks. Remember to air dry your Mabuyu before storing. Then store them in an airtight container. The third snack that I am making are what we call the scones or buns, as some people call them. And I have posted the recipe in the description below because my phone battery died and I was not able to record the process of making the dough. But don't worry, I'm trusting God for a nice camera to record better videos for you. So the dough is supposed to be pliable and soft, as you can see. When I press it, it bounces back, but it is soft. Yes, that is how it should be. Now you're supposed to oil the vessel that you're going to put the dough in. You oil the vessel because we don't want the dough to stick to the sides while we put it to rest. I have decided to use the same bowl that I used for making the dough so as to avoid using too many utensils. So you put the dough in the bowl or the vessel that you're using and then cover it with a kitchen towel or a cling film, or what we call the plastic wrap. I prefer the cling film for some reason because it totally excludes any air from coming in. Place the dough in a warm area for an hour or until it doubles in size. As you can see, mine has doubled and it is still soft. Actually, there's a lot of air in it. If I press, you can see it's soft and it has a lot of air in it. Sprinkle flour on the work surface or the board that you're going to work the dough in. Then pour out the dough onto the surface and knock out air that has accumulated in it. The flour helps with the stickiness of the dough. Remember, it's a very soft one. So you just work it gently. You're not fighting it. I'm sorry about the position of the camera. As you can see, I'm working the dough gently as I remove the air that had built up in it. Next, we're going to cut the dough into 8 equal pieces and then knead them into balls or round shapes. So I'll just cut them up. Just be gentle with the dough. So next, you place the balls onto an oiled tray. We are oiling the trays to avoid them sticking in them during baking. So your baking tray, you oil it up and sprinkle some flour on it to enable you to remove them easily once the baking is done. Just sprinkle the oil, the flour, sorry, and then place the balls of dough onto the baking tray as I have. Leave some space between them because at some point they're going to rise and increase in size. So you want to give them space to do that. That is the ones that I have produced. And then cover with the kitchen towel. I prefer to moisten the kitchen towel a bit. As you can see, I have sprinkled some sesame seeds on some of the dough. Remember the sesame seeds I left? And there is a row of the dough that I have not sprinkled because one of my sons really hates sesame for some reason. So I'll put it in the preheated oven. The oven was preheated at 170 degrees Celsius or centigrade. So there we go. And I'm going to bake this for 25 to 30 minutes. There I put it in the oven. And now we have to wait. So here, after 30 minutes, these are the buns or the scones that we have. Just look at that. Pretty awesome, huh? And I'm just going to make it even more awesome. So next, while they're still hot, I'm going to brush them with margarine. I do not have butter, but if you do, even better. We know that butter makes everything better. And I have the next best thing, which is margarine. And that's what I am brushing over. Remember to do this while it is still hot, and that will make the butter or the margarine sink into the bread and make it even more tasty, more delicious looking. Just see that. Imagine putting this in front of your family members, of your friends, or just for you. This is some really awesome snacks that you can make at home. I cover them with the cling film so that they can retain the moisture and the pliability and
There
the
you have it,
softness.
3 delicious
So just
snacks
cover it
for you
and let it
and
rest.
your family.
Then
Remember to
have it.
subscribe to my channel, like this video, share it with your friend, and come back for more next time I post a new video.